We're inside Cory Booker's kitchen in Newark, New Jersey, with this question from a Democratic voter.
What's the check you have to write every week that drives you nuts?
I have a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old. I have to send them to daycare. Every week, I write a check for $415.20. Do the math, that comes out to just under $22,000 a year.
That's cash. That's serious dough.
It's also outrageous. In most states in America, daycare for children, childcare for children is more expensive than the college tuition at your state university.
Booker's answer? Using government funds to limit the cost of childcare to 7% of parents' salaries and expanding tax credits to Americans who stay home to take care of children or aging parents.
So people who would be staying home, we're going to pay them to stay home? Is that?
I love your look, but I want to get people. When I was mayor of my city, I used to have to do fierce balance sheet analyses, which often led me to the moral conclusion as well. The morally right thing to do in America is the economically right thing to do as well. So let's get back to these people that you were saying, paying people who have to stay home for their children. No, you are honoring what is work.
Honoring, and Booker argues, cost effective.
As I would call it, penny immoral and pound foolish in the way we're running our society right now.
Working and raising a family in America, says Booker, shouldn't make you poor. Harry Smith, NBC News, Newark, New Jersey.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.